Hello, I'm Bill Faris, and today I want to talk to you about the 5 R's of healing. Now, I think of healing not as a singular event or a point on a timeline, but rather a combination of processes or dimensions that work together to create a healing experience. So, the first R of healing is remove, the removal of that which is injuring, wounding, or harming you. That's where all healing begins, isn't it? Because you have to get that toxic, poisonous, injurious thing out of your life. If it's a bullet, you got to get the bullet out. If it's poison, you got to pump the stomach or whatever you got to do. Remove that thing that is hurting or wounding you, and you can begin to heal. So that's the first R of healing, removal. But the second R is then repair. Okay, we've gotten the injury causing agent out of the system or out of the body or out of the soul, and now we've got to repair the damage. We got to address what was hurt or injured or wounded in the process and repair it and work on it and cause it to become elevated and better and more whole and more recovered. And so that's the R of repair. But then there follows the third R, which is restoration. Now that's when we can really start to feel the healing happen, because restoration is about getting back what was lost in our wounding, whether that's relationship, whether that's some kind of a spiritual restoration, whether it is a restoration of some physical capabilities or whatever it might be. But when we start to feel like we're getting our life back, we are starting to experience restoration, the third dimension of healing. But that takes us now to the fourth dimension, which is redemption. And in redemption, we're talking about buying back. The literal meaning of the word redeem is to buy back. And so that pain, that loss, all of that we went through, the suffering, if it can be bought back and turned for good, that's redemption. And the Bible does not say all things are good. It does say all things work together for good to those that love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. And so we can expect that in God's work of healing in our life, he's going to enable us to turn some of that pain and loss and injury and wounding around into a fountain of grace that turns into a blessing to ourselves and others somehow, as only God can do it. And that brings us to the fifth and final R of healing, which is revelation. And that just speaks to the idea that there are some people, maybe not everybody, but there are some people that can actually come to the place where they literally thank God for the worst, hardest, most difficult thing they've ever gone through, if, if it's how they most powerfully came to know the love and the light of the Lord and the Lord himself. Because sometimes those are the experiences that open us most widely to the grace, the goodness, the presence of God. And so some people speak of a revelation of the Lord in their healing process, or as it is attributed to Augustine, in my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me.